Good morning, students. In the first lecture, we have discussed about Mohr Coulomb strength theory, that is shear strength S is equal to C plus sigma tan phi. In the last lecture, we have discussed about different tests in order to find out the shear strength of the soil, and their direct shear test, triaxial test, unconfined compressive strength, and vane shear test. And we have discussed the direct shear test also. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss the second experiment to find out the shear strength of the soil, that is triaxial compression test. Okay. And this triaxial test is the most widely used shear strength test because it is suitable for all type of the soil. It is used for cohesive soil and coastal soil. Also, this test can be conducted on different drainage condition, that is it can be conducted as UU test or CD test or CU test. So it is most widely used shear strength test. Here we are using a cylindrical specimen, and its dimension is like that, that is length to diameter ratio is 2, that is length is 2 times the diameter. Next, uh, this is the stress system in triaxial test, that is here we are using cylindrical specimen, and the stress is applied in all the direction, that is confining pressure is applied to the specimen in all different direction. This is the elevation and this is the plan. This will be discussing later and you will be clear. And this is the experimental setup in order to find out the shear strength. There will be a loading ram. Through this loading ram we are applying the normal stress, and this is the cylinder where we are putting the specimen, that is soil sample is fill inside the cylindrical specimen, and its dimension is like that, L by D is equal to 2 times, that is diameter will be half the length, or length is 2 times the diameter. And here porous disc is inserted in order to allow the drainage, and through this portion we are applying pressure, and pour water measuring device is attached. This is the experimental setup of triaxial test. In the last lecture, we have discussed that shear test can be conducted in two different stages, that is consolidation stage and shear stage. And here consolidation, in this consolidation stage, it can be conducted as unconsolidated condition or consolidated condition, that is drainage can be allowed or drainage cannot be allowed. If it is in unconsolidated, we are applying the symbol U. If it is unconsolidated, that is drainage valve will be closed, no volume change will occur, and excess pour water will be generated. And if we are conducting this consolidation stages consolidated, the drainage valve will be open and volume change will be allowed, and no excess pour water pressure will be there. Yeah, that is consolidation stage. First stage can be conducted as unconsolidated condition or consolidated, because if we are allowing the drainage, it will be consolidated stage, and if we are blocking the drainage, it will be unconsolidated, that we have discussed in the first lecture. And second stage is shear stage, and the shear stage can also be conducted as unconsolidated and consolidated. If it is unconsolidated, drainage valve will be closed, and if it is consolidated, drainage valve will be open. Okay. The test procedure: here a saturated porous stone is placed on the pedestal and the cylindrical soil specimen is placed on it, that is soil is put inside this cylindrical specimen, and porous stone will be there in order to allow the drainage, and the membrane is used to prevent the water from penetrating to the soil sample. For that we are putting membrane. The triaxial cell is filled with water and pressure is applied to the water, which in turn transmitted to the soil, that is here this triaxial cell, this portion will be filled with water, and we are applying pressure through this direction, that is pressure is applied to the water which is filled in the triaxial cell, and this pressure of this water is pushed into the soil sample also, that is soil sample will also be under pressure which is applied by the water. For the water, the pressure is supplied from the pressure supply cell. Okay, that is this portion will be filled with water, and pressure will be supplied to this water, and in turn this pressure will be applied to the soil also. So the soil will be all round confining pressure. This is known as cell pressure or confining pressure. This is applied in the first stage, that is consolidation stage. This in the consolidation stage we are applying all round confining pressure or cell pressure to the soil sample through the water pressure. Okay. that is cell pressure or confining pressure, which is applied in the first stage. And in second stage will be shear stage. With the cell pressure held constant, additional axial stress is applied through the ram gradually until the sample is fails. This axial stress is called deviator stress. In the second stage, we are applying deviator stress through this loading ram. Okay, initially we are applying consolidation, during the consolidation stage we are applying confining pressure or cell pressure through the water pressure. Okay, and in the second stage, that is shear stage, we are applying deviator stress through the loading ram. This is the experimental procedure. Okay, that is first stage is consolidation stage. During the consolidation stage, we are applying confining pressure. This all-round confining pressure is applied to the soil sample, soil specimen through water pressure, and the cell pressure is applied through this apparatus. And second stage, in the second stage, the consolidation will be constant. After completing the consolidation, we are applying shear, that is normal stress or deviator stress is applied through the loading ram. Okay, that is first stage consolidation stage, we are applying confining pressure. It is noted by sigma c, that is all round confining pressure. It will be applied to all the sides. This is the elevation and this is the plan. Okay, and in the second stage, shear stage, we are applying deviator stress sigma d. Okay, so first we discuss the elevation, that is if it is the soil cylindrical soil specimen, confining pressure will be applied to all the direction. Okay, all round confining pressure will be applied, that is sigma c will be applied throughout the soil specimen, but deviator stress is applied to the top and bottom, that is compression. Through the top surface and bottom surface there will be deviator stress. So this top surface and bottom surface, there will be confining pressure and deviator stress sigma c plus sigma d, but in the side surface there will not be deviator stress because deviator stress is applied to the top and bottom. So in the side faces there will be confining pressure only. So here that is sigma c, and in top and bottom there will be sigma c plus sigma d, that is confining pressure plus deviator stress. Okay, is it clear? And this is the plan. In this plan we are showing this confining pressure only because deviator stress is applied to the top and bottom. Okay, so the vertical sides of the specimen, the vertical sides of the specimen will be the principal plane because there will not be shear stress on the sides. That is on this side there will not be shear stress, there is only confining pressure. So this is known as principal plane, and the major principal plane are the top and bottom planes, and the major principal stress is sigma c plus sigma d, that is this plane will be major principal plane, and major principal stress is this sigma c plus sigma d, this major principal stress, minor principal stress, principal plane that you have studied detail in Mohs circle, that is MOS. Okay, just go through that portion. So here in this triaxial cell, major principal stress is sigma c plus sigma d, that is noted by sigma 1, major principal stress, and minor principal plane will be this plane, and minor principal stress is confining pressure. Okay, that is major principal stress is noted as sigma 1. This will be applied to the top and bottom planes, that is on top and bottom there will be confining pressure plus deviator stress, that is major principal stress sigma 1 is equal to confining pressure plus deviator stress. Okay, then minor principal stress will be noted as sigma 3, and that is confining pressure. So this should be clear in your mind, that is in triaxial cell major principal stress is sigma c plus sigma d, and minor principal stress is sigma c. Okay, and if we want to find out, if we know the major principal stress and minor principal, that is we know sigma 1 and sigma 3, then how will you calculate sigma d, that is deviator stress? And deviator, from this equation it is clear that deviator stress sigma d is equal to sigma 1 minus sigma 3. By subtracting sigma 3 from sigma 1, we will get sigma d, that is deviator stress. Okay, it's about major principal stress and minor principal stress, and sigma 2 will be intermediate principal stress, that will be same as confining pressure. Okay, intermediate principal stress sigma 2 will be equal to sigma c, that is confining pressure. Okay, this is very important for the problem part, so you should thorough with this equation, that is sigma 1 major principal stress is equal to sigma c plus sigma d, and minor sigma 3 is equal to sigma c. Okay, and Next one, the special attachments in triaxial cell. There will be special attachments in triaxial cell which is not in direct shear test. So first one is there is mercury control system. This is attached to find out the or to maintain the cell pressure constant. In order to maintain the cell pressure constant, mercury control system is attached. And second one, pore water pressure measurement device. It is attached to measure the pore water pressure in the specimen. And third one, volume change measurement is used to measure volume change during consolidation stage. And these three are special attachments in triaxial test only. It's not in direct shear test. And this I have discussed, that is drainage condition. That is in first stage, that is confining pressure, that or all round cell pressure sigma c is applied, and in second stage, shearing stage, we are applying deviator stress. And this first can be conducted, that is consolidation stage, can be conducted as consolidated or unconsolidated. If it is consolidated, the drainage valve will be open, and if it is unconsolidated, drainage valve will be closed. Like that, shear stage also, if it is open, drainage valve is open, it will be in drained loading, and if it is closed, it is undrained loading. And unconsolidated undrained, that is UU. And CD, CU, this I have discussed in the first lecture. I just go through this slide. Next is the test results of triaxial test. This unconsolidated undrained test, UCU test, is the volume change of sample during consolidation. That is, volume is getting decreased as the time increases. This is very clear. During consolidation, soil will be under compression, so volume will be get decreased. It's very simple. Second one, this result is same as that of direct shear test, that is stress with strain, variation of deviator stress and axial strain. And this variation for dense sand, this for loose sand. In the case of dense sand, within smaller value of strain, the stress value increases peak value, then it will become constant. And in the case of loose sand, it is gradually varying. This also explained in direct shear test. Same result is in triaxial test also. This is the variation of pore water pressure with axial strain. Here also in dense sand case, firstly it increases, then decreases, and in loose sand it will be gradually increasing. Here how we are calculating the shear strength parameters C and phi. For that we are drawing Mohs circle. Different Mohs circle will be drawn for different deviator stress, different major principal stress and minor principal stress. If we know major principal stress sigma 1 and sigma 3, we can draw Mohs circle. That is, this first one will be major principal stress, and second value sigma 1, sigma 1 will be major principal stress, and sigma 3 will be minor. So taking this as the diameter, we can draw Mohs circle like this. For the second specimen also we are drawing the Mohs circle. And failure, here the failure envelope will be a tangent which is touching all the Mohs circle. Okay, we are drawing different many number of Mohs circle, and the tangent which is passing through these Mohs circles is the Mohr Coulomb failure envelope, and its inclination will be phi, and y intercept will be quotient c. Okay, so also like this, if you are drawing one Mohs circle, failure envelope will be the tangent through the Mohs circle. And how we are drawing this Mohs circle, this is the sigma 1 is the major principal stress. In the triaxial test, major principal stress sigma 1 is equal to confining pressure plus deviator stress. So we can add up the confining pressure and deviator stress, and we will get sigma 1. And taking sigma 1 from origin to this, taking that value from origin, we can mark sigma 1. And sigma 3 is the confining pressure, so taking the value from origin, we will get sigma 3, and making this as the diameter, you draw the Mohs circle. Okay, so like this we can draw the Mohs circle, and we can draw failure envelope as the tangent, and its inclination will be phi, and y-intercept will be quotient c. Next is the advantages of triaxial test. The first advantage is the shear test under all the three drainage condition can be performed with complete control. This is the drawback in direct shear test. That is, we cannot control the drainage condition, but here there will be control over drainage. Okay. And also pore water pressure and volume change can be measured directly. Here there is special attachment to find out the pore water pressure and volume change. This is another advantage. And here the stress distribution on the failure plane is uniform. In the case of direct shear test, there is variation in stress distribution, but here it is maintained as uniform. And the third advantage, the test is suitable for accurate research work because we are getting accurate result, and we can conduct in any type of soil at any drainage condition. And the specimen is free to fail on the weakest plane. Okay, it is free to fail at its own weakest plane, but in the direct shear test we are fixing the plane as the horizontal plane is the weakest plane, but here it can fail at its own weakest plane. And last one, the state of stress during any stage of the experiment is known. Mohs circle can be drawn at any stage. At any stage we can draw the Mohs circle, but in the case of direct shear test we are drawing the Mohs circle at failure condition only. Disadvantage is in the case of drain test, the test can take longer period as compared with that in direct shear test. Sorry, it is direct shear test. And the apparatus is bulky, costly, and elaborate. Based on this, we can do one problem. The following results were obtained from a series of consolidated and drain tests in which pore water pressure was not determined. Determine the coefficient intercept C and angle of shearing resistance by C and phi. The question is to find C and phi. For that, the confining pressure is given and deviated stress is given, that is sigma C and sigma D. Okay, so for three number of sample we can draw three Mohs circle, that is we know confining pressure and deviated stress. So what will be the major principal stress? Major principal stress, here it will be sigma 1 sigma C plus sigma D, that is 700. Here there will be 200 plus 750, and here 300 plus 870, that are and minor principal stress is this confining pressure 100, 200, 300. Okay, so like this we can draw three Mohs circle. For example, in the case of first one, confining pressure, that is minor principal stress is 100, so we are taking here 100, and this is sigma 1. And second one, 100 plus 600, 700 is the second point, that is here 700 is marked, and this is taken as the diameter and draw the first Mohs circle. Like this we are taking sigma 1 and sigma 3 for the second sample and drawing Mohs circle, and also the third Mohs circle, and failure envelope is drawn as the tangent connecting all the three Mohs circles, and its inclination is the phi, and y-intercept as the C, that is 150 quotient value, and you just try to do it. This is about triaxial shear test. So this is you just go through the Aurora textbook and read the procedures. I will share this slide also. Okay, thank you.